Okay, focus. Want to talk with you about your Saturn return today. I did 3 videos beforehand I will upload, but this will be the start video. In a nutshell, your first Saturn return is your wake-up call for maturity. It is like taking out a kind of a time schedule you have forever had in the back of your mind. We all have these kind of inner knowing of when we want to get married, or if we want to get married, when we want to have a doggo, what kind of a job we would like to have, when we want to get in a higher position, when we when we want to build up an own house, or buy a flat, or leave the country, or whatever your plan is. So for the first Saturn return, from 0 to 100, you will take out this schedule you have never, probably ever, really taken serious, and then it is in front of your eyes, and it calls you into action and to be serious from one moment to the other, to ask you, like, what have you done from that schedule? It is your schedule, take it serious, you little. And so you have to make up your mind. When will I leave the country? When will I build up my house? Where's my partner? When will I raise a family? And so on. And this schedule for your first Saturn return can be it can give you a so overwhelming feeling of being so, I need to get it all done in a perfect way, because Saturn wants perfection from you, and this is so hard, I guess, and so not good to handle for many of you. If you are a late bloomer like I am, it can be very hard. If you have Saturn on your angle somewhere, this will give you a kind of a shock situation once you have your first Saturn return, because when it sits on the angles, no matter where, it will shake your whole system from the inside, because the angles correspond every day and every minute. And so it is, when you have Saturn on your descendant from the 7th house, it will be a wake-up call for you to make serious connections to people. And this is so hard, because when you're, depending on how old the people are when you have this, there are many people who start relating more to the elderly, because they think that elder people are perfect and cool in what they do, and kind of perfect in what they are and what they want and how they display themselves to the world. Could be that you kind of would like to suck and Saturnian natures a lot. I had that a while with a younger one who's having Saturn on the descendant, where I thought I was the kind of a little bit of a role model for not just for partnership. The 7th is not just about partnership, but it's about close eye-to-eye contact, where you go into close relationships with other people, no matter if they are partnerships or close relationships at work, not sexual ones or not love ones, but close, really close friends. You can find them in the 7th house as well, and how you treat them and how they treat you. And so when you have, just for example, your Saturn in the 7th house on the descendant, you will go into, you will be naturally into this mode of perfection of the world, and how your partner may have to be in your sweetest dreams, something like that. And I mean, who in reality fulfills that? Kind of nobody. So you need to train your Saturn to, or wait until your Saturn will calm down a little bit, after a while to really be able to use it well. We all suffer from our Saturn in younger years. It is like it is. But you start benefit from it when you undergo all the Saturnian lessons. So this is why it is so hard to have the first Saturn return, because it comes out of the box like a shock, and it calls you into questions like, what have you done? Have you partied all night long? How much fun have you had? And stop that. Stop it. You need to fulfill the schedule. And this is what it makes it so hurtful, because if you haven't had the resources to fulfill this schedule, it will be so hurtful when you have your inner plan that you want to fulfill but you don't have the job, like during Corona, or whatever. You cannot leave the country. You want to be a traveler professionally, and you cannot leave the country because no plane is flying, or it's so expensive that you can't afford it. This is a horror story. This is all a horror story. Or that you, when you have it somewhere as a girl and you want to have your first child, but you don't have a partner to fulfill that. This extreme need to fulfill this to-do list will lead you into this thinking of, when I am perfect, the radar of Saturn won't get me. So you try to flow under Saturn's radar by trying to be perfect during this period of time. It is an act of helplessness and extreme fear, because the world changes for you and it doesn't look to be the same anymore like it was. So I hope you will find little spaces and tiny moments where you will be able to relax, and don't go into this thing like you need to have it all. You need to have it achieved right now, and all you have plenty of time usually to get stuff done. But it's take this first Saturn return more as a wake-up call for the way that it leads you into the future. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to become a doctor? Are you already a doctor, or what do you have to fulfill to finally get what you want? So this is Saturnian realm. It's the first you undergo, the first real questioning, when you have your first Saturn opposition, which will be, I think, something at the age of 14 or something like that. This is very hurtful as well, because you are into this changing process into puberty, where you leave childhood and enter in your whatever, teens, 20s, younger years, something like that. And this is strange as well, but the first Saturn return is shocking. Pretty much often is so shocking, and pretty much often it functions like the more we want something and the more we are used to force stuff in our life, because we are highly Aryan, whatever. The more you force during a Saturn return, the more your Saturn will take away from you. So be careful with too much fiery power, with too much flighty power, like Gemini, like fire signs, whatever. Go finding your orientation with the earth signs. Try that. Ask your earthy friends, how would you behave if you would be in my shoes? So this is the thing that is very, very important for you. So try to chillax. Everything you do is okay. You do not need to be perfect, but you feel the wish to be like that because of fear, and it is okay. But you will lose this fear once you turn 40. It takes a while, or once you achieve what you wanted to achieve. And this can be really hurtful, because we think we can achieve other people as well by being perfect, by showing off the right image. And this is why people go after a Saturn return, a hurtful Saturn return, into the wish to be perfect, have a perfect body, to go have a perfect kind of way how I communicate with the world, something like that. And this really can lead you into more trouble than before, because Saturn is earned, not in looks. Saturn is not about looks. Saturn is not that much about relationships. It can be when it's a very stable one, but usually not. So Saturn is more about job status, like the 10th house is. It is more like what do we, where's the value, where can we build up a stable ground to stand on, to be able to go into the future. So it is and it's hurtful because we are all different, we all do need different things, and it's sometimes can be a shock for you to see that your best friend does something you would have never ever done in your life, or does something you would have thought he or she would do. And so this can be quite confusing as well. But they as well do search for perfection in their life, and this is why such a lot of relationships do break up during this time, because you start judging other people if they are perfect or not. Biggest mistake is judging people for their looks, like clothes and body shape, because Saturn is everything but body shape or clothing. Have that in mind. Saturn realms are absolutely different of that, and it's because body shape and fashion is something that comes and goes, and this is not Saturn realm. Saturn is the stone you're standing on. So it is a try to make everything perfect when you go into clothing, hairstyle, whatever. It is okay. Do what you have to do. Try yourself out, and we all did that. It is okay, but keep that in mind, that if you really want to work on Saturnian issues, you would need to build up a solid ground, probably for you to find a husband who gives you a solid ground to raise a family from. This is Saturnian as well. This is Saturnian. But this doesn't have to do with body shape as well, and not with physical looks and so on. This is always, you would need to search for deeper understanding in a partner. That would be Saturnian as well. Saturnian issues are, where do I want to live, and where do I want to, if you think in wider realms, like where do I want to spend the rest of my life on this planet. This is Saturnian, part of the Saturnian shadow. Do it. If you want to go, do it. And do it soon. Don't do it later. You may get ill or whatever, and then you can't leave the country anymore or whatever, and so do what you have to do. Take it serious. Take your wish list serious, and then leave away all the hip stuff. I would like to say something about the realm of art, because I stem from this this ground, and I found out as I grew older that it is a good kind of hobby, and if I would like to do it, I would like to do it professionally only, but not in the advertising industry, because I found out that the advertising industry is not Saturnian at all. It kind of didn't suit me that well, except you work for a company that is still that is an old one, but where do you have that on this planet? So this is a kind of you can kind of judge jobs like that as well. Better choose. I don't want to give you tips because you're all different. You all have to make up your mind, but don't feel sad about it when you wake up in your 40s and you feel like you have kind of nothing in your hands because the job you've chosen wasn't that stable one, or that you didn't make such a career there, especially when you are a girl. So it's still a little bit easier for guys out there to make a career somewhere than it is for girls. So choose wisely. Saturn is the wise old guy that says, like, it's a little bit like the Harry Potter hat, like, which career would you like to take on and then take it serious and then give everything for it, as well if you have to live from just bread and water. Do it. What you have to do. You may regret it in the end once you haven't done it. So this is what I want to tell you about the first Saturn return. I hope it will help you a little bit. And I'm so with you all when you say you have a horrific first Saturn return. I can relate so much. But keep going. It will just fade away one day, and then it will get better. Bye, folkies.